Hey guys, OG of the HRC here once more. Welcome back. Welcome for the first timers. Welcome to everyone. So today we are going to be talking about the one, the only Gretchen Whitmer. Now, if you're wondering why we're talking about Gretchen Whitmer, you must be living under a rock because overnight it seems she has become a household name. So I thought it would be a great idea to do a little video to do Gretchen Whitmer 101. So join us. Who is Gretchen? Well, it's simple. She's born and raised in Michigan. She went to both undergrad and law school at Michigan State. She's married with 2 daughters of her own and 3 stepchildren. She went on to become a former county prosecutor, a former state house representative, a former state senator, and not only that, she was the first woman leader, state senate leader of Michigan. And of course, now she is the current governor of Michigan. So why is Gretchen on the short list? Why are we hearing her name? Why is there article after article about her? Why is she on all these talk shows?
It's a serious situation, and what's happening in New York and what's starting to happen in Michigan is going to happen in a lot of other places across the country, and people have to take this seriously. Chip in and do your part.
Well, it's very simple actually. Gretchen is Michigan. She not only was born and raised in Michigan, but she represents the state of Michigan every day as their governor. And Michigan is key to 2020. In 2016, we lost Wisconsin, we lost Michigan, and we lost Pennsylvania, and we lost the election. In the Electoral College, that is. And a lot of Democrats started to say, we've lost the blue-collar worker, we're never gonna get them back, we need to focus on the more progressive unit. And I disagree, and Gretchen is proof of that. Gretchen won her home state of Michigan, blue-collar Michigan, by 10 points in her race to be governor. Now, if that's not impressive blue-collar work, I don't know what is. And since Michigan and blue-collar workers is key to this election, Gretchen is the name that seems to be on everyone's mind. Now, overall, I will say this, I have been a fan of Gretchen's for quite some time. And I actually originally thought, you know, maybe her name should be held off the list until 2024 as a replacement VP, or maybe 2028 she could run on her own, because she just didn't have enough experience. She just got elected in 2018. Well, the coronavirus has changed all of that for me and for a lot of others, and clearly for the Joe Biden team. She has shown such great leadership in a hotspot state of Michigan, a state that has no money, that has a Democrat governor and a Republican state legislative, and has just pushed and persevered through for her people of Michigan. As such, she's shown more strength and leadership as a new governor than I've seen from some seasoned governors, Republicans and Democrats alike.
We're pulling out all of the stops to make sure that if there is an avenue for us to ramp up as a state, we are going to pursue it. The people of Michigan need to see results here. They need to know that they are protected.
And the people connect to her because she's real, because she's Michigan. So once the coronavirus hit and she really took the lead and showed what it meant to be a leader, I thought, you know what? She should be on his vice presidential shortlist. She is the epitome of what I would personally want in a vice president, in a president, in a senator, in a governor, in leadership. She is that. So you have a mixture of a leadership quality that she just glows off of her, mixed in with the fact that she is blue-collar Michigan, and that can easily convey in places like Wisconsin, Minnesota, which we have to keep, and Pennsylvania. So that's why she is on everyone's mind these days. The Trump factor. We all got to talk about it. I'm sure you've all seen the interaction, the tweets, the hate tweets. I can't say anything of his tweets because I got blocked by him during the 2016 election, but I'm good. But in all seriousness, the way that she has handled that woman from Michigan, right? The way she's handled his attacks and his tweets during this coronavirus escapade has been genius, to be honest. She is someone who seems to have figured out how to not get involved and go down to his level.
You know, you've become a target for the president recently. He called you Gretchen Whitmer. I guess he thinks that's witty. And he instructed the vice president not to call the woman in Michigan. How do you respond to these attacks?
Well, you know what? All of my energy has to be laser focused on serving the people of my state. There are 10 million people in the state of Michigan. They are concerned. We see COVID-19 growing at such a fast rate exponentially in our state. We have hospitals that are already at capacity and nurses and doctors who are wearing the same mask from the beginning of their shift till the end. So I don't have energy to focus on anything other than trying to make sure that we work well with the federal government.
And she sort of went, you know what? I'm not going to take the bait. I'm going to fight for my state and I'm going to go do my thing. Now, she does talk about from the national stage that she's not getting what she needs, but she's not saying any names. And I'm pretty sure that that seems to bother him because at the end of the day, he wants that attention. And I like that fact in her is that she sort of figured him out, where most people have still to this day not been able to figure him out. So I think that a lot of people like that too about her, which makes her a household name. The woman card, right? Deal me in. So when Joe Biden announced that he was definitely picking a woman as his VP.
And I commit that I will, in fact, I'll pick a woman to be vice president. There are a number of women who are qualified to be president tomorrow. I would pick a woman to be my vice president.
We all started creating lists. And then for me personally, when he said that he was picking a black woman for the Supreme Court, half of my list kind of went out the door because in my interpretation, that meant that he's probably not going to go with a woman of color as his VP. He's going to stick with a safe white woman, one could say. I can do an entire video on that, and I may, but for now I'm just gonna kind of stick where I am because I have a lot of feelings about that. Now, that being said, we all kind of started to create lists of who we thought was qualified, who was ready, who was not ready. And something that I kept hearing from a lot of people is that the party definitely had to pick a woman. That was without a doubt. I mean, how can we be the party of equal rights and the ERA and fighting for the ERA and women's right to choose if we don't have a woman on the ticket, right? So once that was announced, I started thinking and I thought, you know, it would be really nice to have some newer blood. A lot of people want that. They want the new blood. And that's why with Gretchen, she is new blood. She is a first-term governor. And I think that that could help ease some of the tarnish that some of the other potential candidates could have. And that's extremely important. And Gretchen brings this whole new level of vibrance and excitement, and she's a strong woman. Everything about her is strong. She's a Michigan woman. They are all strong there. So when I think of her, I think of all that she's done sort of quietly for women and fighting for women's rights. At the end of the day, she gave a phenomenal speech when she was in the state Senate legislation of Michigan about women's right to choose.
And let's be clear, this stance is not pro-abortion or anti-children born through rape or incest. This stance is merely upholding a woman's right to make her own decisions about her own body.
Women's health was her big platform when she was running for governor. She's the mother of 2 daughters. She's one of only a handful of women governors in America. That is the woman factor. You can't get more "I'm woman, hear me roar" than that. Okay, I'm gonna say something that may scare a few of you, or more than a few, but it has to be said. Moderate. Gretchen is a moderate Democrat, a centrist Democrat, the middle Democrat. And that is what we desperately, desperately need. Now, many of the Bernie bros are not going to join us. No matter what we do, no matter how much we give, no matter what promises we make them, they are not coming. They will do the same thing that they did in 2016. They will stay home, they will vote third party, or they will write in Bernie Sanders. That is a fact. They're not coming to us. We have to stop chasing them and we have to stop catering to them. That being said, how we can win this is by getting those independent voters that we lost. And that middle ground is where majority of people feel the safest. They don't want the extremes. As a state, you can have extremes. California could be more extreme left or, but as a country, the center is where everything gets done. Gretchen is that center. She can help us. She could be the key to unlocking that gate of bringing back centrist, moderate politics to America. It's what Bill Clinton did. You can look it up. It's true. Vibrance, pretty, young, and extremely smart. Those are all qualities that Joe Biden must have on his ticket. Simply because Joe Biden is clearly a man in his 70s in a lot of ways. So if you really think about it, the promise of Sarah Palin and what she was supposed to deliver to John McCain is something comparative to what Gretchen could bring to Joe Biden. Obviously, there's some major differences considering that Gretchen is a million times better than Sarah Palin even is on her best day. But Sarah Palin made John McCain in the beginning look young and vibrant and fun, which is a hard task because John McCain didn't always come off as the funnest guy.
I mean, I could never support somebody who thinks that it's funny to say bomb, bomb, bomb Iran. That to me is not somebody I could endorse ever.
You don't think it was insensitive or in any way making light of it?
The Iranians? And my response is lighten up and get a life.
Later in life, maybe, but during that time period, not so much. Gretchen can make any candidate in their 70s look young and vibrant because she's young and vibrant. And to top it off, she's extremely smart and she knows what she's doing. So that in itself is a reason why she is obviously on the short list. Now, I have a theory that Nikki Haley is going to replace Mike Pence, especially if Joe Biden picks a woman. I think that that's the direction. And I could do a whole other video on that, but I'll stick to what I am. And Nikki Haley is easily the golden girl of the Republican Party. So I would love to see a debate between those two of them because at the end of the day, I think Gretchen could really come across to those blue collar workers. Nikki Haley has a way about her that almost seems like an elitist, and Gretchen is anything but that. She is real and she speaks the truth and she knows how to handle herself in a very professional manner.
Hey, thank you for supporting us.
Thank you, I'm with you.
And even if she had to go against Pence, I mean, come on, like that's not even worthy of talking about, please. I have been a fan of Governor Gretchen Whitmer's for quite some time. Something about the way she leads makes me feel like my party and my country is gonna be okay. And I don't say that lightly. Gretchen is someone we need in a position of power, a position of leadership. She has handled this coronavirus with grit and grace, and Michigan is extremely lucky to have her. I would just like to spread the love around a little bit, maybe in all 50 states. I believe that Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan is the vice presidential candidate of our time. All right, guys, I hope it helped you understand why Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan is amazing. I hope I've helped you learn a little bit more about her, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and right here on YouTube. And make sure you push that little subscribe button so you can keep getting all of this glorious content. Until next time, the OG of the HRC, signing out.